Don't talk. All right, guys, welcome. Technical difficulties already out the gate. That's never a good way to start the stream, but hopefully we should have them all behind us. We are here tonight for the Crooked Line Racing Bristol 200. Got a little bit of cheese on the line here tonight. These drivers going to be racing for a little bit of that Five Kings Motorsports money. Got $65 up to grab tonight. $25 to the race winner. $15 to the heat race winners. There's going to be 2 heat races here tonight, folks. And then we got $10 to the pole sitter for the night. Tonight's race is going to be interesting. It's going to be a completely different format than what we are accustomed to. Sorry. Uh, Going to have an invert. So when we go to the feature, we're going to invert this whole field. Top 6 qualifiers will make the feature event. Then the rest of the pack, they got to go to the heat races. Then from there, from heat race 1 and heat race 2, top 9 finishers, they'll make it to the race. And then, like I said, got a whole field to invert then. So whoever finishes dead last in heat number 2, they will be on the pole here tonight. I got a good buddy in the booth with me tonight. He is currently trying to check to make sure the technical difficulties are no longer here. He might be ready to speak with us. It's Mr. Keith Mack. Keith, you got a copy?
I got you. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. So, folks at home, please let us know if Keith is too loud. I got on today. I'll be straightforward, give you a peek behind the curtain. I got on, went live, and then I guess Microsoft had an update. So, whenever Microsoft has an update, it normally messes up all of our properties, like with audio properties such as microphones, what they're assigned to, and such and such. So got on here. That's why Mark Arthur, thank you for the comment. He said no time or no sound. So hopefully now, Mark, you can hear us loud and clear. Like I said, joined by Keith Mack. Got a little bit of cheese on the line here tonight. Excited about that. And excited about this race. I really am because it's Bristol, baby. I mean, we just saw good cup racing here last week, Keith, last weekend. Now we're here in Tormont. It's a little bit different track. Talk to me about it before these drivers go to the grid or go to the qualifying.
Well, it's a fast track. I think you're going to see a wide spread of speeds. You're going to see a lot of guys like Axum up front. You're going to see Ed Brown up front. You're going to see Chris up front. You see a lot of guys up front, but there's some dark horses here. Don't recall, we were here last season. And the winner of that race, Zach Murphy, who's also here tonight. Brad Carpenter finished second in that race. He's also here tonight. I think you're going to see some gas come into play. We ran 129 laps then. Gas was probably not going to run 200 tonight. Dude, I'm fired up. It's going to be a great race.
And to not even just focus on them guys, we got last season's champion, Thomas Axum, number 13. He's in the building here tonight. Alex Coffey, he's a real fast driver. Christian Pittman, he finished like third in the points last season, if I do recall. Second, maybe, something like that. Or no, he finished third. Jason Raymond got second. That was 2 seasons ago, I do believe. Got qualifying going on right now. We got drivers like Derek Kraus in here. I'm not sure if he's still in or not, but there's your Truck Series ARCA driver up in here with us.
We got Riley Stenjim also, who a lot of people are picking to run up front here as well.
There you go. Riley, I've turned many laps with Riley and officials. So and I know he's pretty fast. So Mark, keep updating me. I'm trying to work on the audio. I apologize, guys. I mean, like I said, I was not expecting. I knew if there was an update, it does that. I just didn't know my computer actually updated was the problem. So I mean, just went live and noticed we had zero sound whatsoever. So I am trying to work on it. If I'm too loud, too quiet, just let me know. And yeah, we'll go from there.
I am playing with my mixer right now. Give me 1 second, Mr. Arthur.
And Mark, there's no sim sound because I have it turned down pretty low. I can cut it up a little bit, but it is turned down fairly low. I don't like to have it very loud in my ear. We can try to crank it up just a little. I see right there in the chat, they're already asking Keith for black flag clears. Qualifying is going to be super important here tonight. You want to be in that top 6. You want to go ahead and punch your ticket.
So this is interesting. So I took the same approach I usually take. I started in the back last season, played the gas game, and it worked out. I got a top 5 out of it, but it was very scary because you're gonna get some long green flag runs tonight. That's playing the gas game is not gonna be helpful if you get too long for green flag run. You're gonna fall behind. You're gonna drop out. If you do recall, Christian Pittman did dominate this race last time we were here, so
He
it's
did. He did.
yeah. So you can't play that game. You've got to run up front. You've got to stay with those guys, or they're gonna lap you. You're gonna get stuck behind some slower drivers. You're gonna get yourself into trouble.
So Keith, you had full intentions on doing this race, and then about 5 minutes before we went live, you said you would jump up in the booth with us. So with that said, you got to test this setup out a lot here tonight. What was your thoughts about the setup? I know it's loose, but it's Bristol. I mean, you're almost wide open here, folks. So the car's got to be able to rotate. But Keith, what's your feedback? How'd it feel? What do you think these drivers going to be battling here tonight?
So I felt it was loose in the center of the corner. I felt it was really nice coming in. It was great coming out. But once you get that center of the corner, that rear end want to come around, you're going to see some guys spin it. They're going to spin on their own with no help at all. But I think once they get the hang of the middle of that corner, you're going to see some incredible speeds once they get going.
And Keith, give them an update because you can actually see the race information and stuff like that. How many sets of tires do these drivers have, and what about a fast pair? They got a fast pair in their pocket.
And that is a great question. Usually they do have a fast pair in the pocket. I would think we're going to go one set of tires. I see one. We do have one faster pair. And where are the tires? Do we not have any tires here?
Should be one extra set of tires.
We have a penalty at 17X,
All
which I
righty.
think
Just give me a
unfortunately some
second.
people are going to reach that, but I don't see the
Oh
tires on here.
yes. Oh yes, people will make that. Tire set limit 2. So yes, they have so Keith, basically they have the set they start the race with, right? And then they have the one extra set in the pits. That's not a whole lot of tires for 200 laps, especially with the way these drivers were using that right rear so much because the car is somewhat loose. That's not a lot of tires, really. I mean, that could be interesting.
I think it's going to be interesting toward the end of the race. I think the first 3 quarters, I think you'll see enough cautions up front until we weed out some of the field a little bit. That tires are not going to play a big part of the first half of the race. The second half of the race, when this thing gets going, it's going to be an issue. It'll be interesting to see who's going to pit early and start siphoning gas into their car early, so they don't have to commit later on.
You're exactly right. We're about to go through the grid real quick for heat race number 1, I do believe. Got Jason Raymond on the pole. Then we got Zach Murphy starting outside row number 1. Alex Coffey inside row number 2 with Riley Stingem on the outside row number 2. Christian Pittman rounded out your top 5 qualifiers. Ed Brown, P6. Scotty Stevens from 5 Kings Motorsports, P7. Bill Petroff from Carolina, P8. Patrick James, that's a correctional officer from Florida, sitting P9 with Garland Bennett rounding out your top 10. Michael Dow is going to be P11. Hunter Harriet's going to be P12. Let's go down a little bit further. Joseph Torchy is P13 with Ryan Nardone, P14. And then you got Keith Mack, Tanner Jones, and those are just drivers that are not actually in the race, I do believe. And if they are in the race, I do apologize. Right here, Keith, there was a field invert right here, if I do believe. A field invert of 4. So if you qualified, I'm not even sure. Basically, if you were supposed to start 4th in this heat, you're starting 1st. So Jason Raymond, he nailed the invert perfectly. Got some fast drivers starting right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, that's some heavy hitters.
Well, let's say later. So you get Chris Carroll actually put his car on the pole with a 13.913, matched the speed by Thomas Axum at 13.913. Also, Nate Trito qualified 3rd with a 13.934. Derek Kraus, Chris Horton, and James Stranger round out the guys that actually qualified without having to go into the heat races. There's some serious speed right there.
Nice. So that's your top 6. I actually forgot to mention that. Thank you, Keith, for watching that and updating us. So yes, there's your top 6 that automatically transferred to the feature.
Now let's look at this first heat race. Riley Stenjem, which would have been the 7th place car, is starting 4th. He's also someone that many people have picked to win,
Right. I mean,
as is Christian Pittman starting fifth, right?
so typically, Keith, we don't normally do this. We're going to do it tonight, though. This heat race number one, $15 on the line. Not life changing money, but there's a lot of pride and ego on the line here too. Who do you got taking heat race number one?
Christian Pittman coming out of the 5 spot. When there's money in the line, people are going to race a little more aggressively. You could put 50 cents in the line. These guys are going to be like, I want a candy bar, and they're going to go after it. So I'm going to go with Christian Pittman.
No cautions here tonight, folks. That pace car, we're waiting for him to make that hard left-hand turn on pit road for the Crooked Line Racing Bristol 200 heat race number one. Is just minutes, seconds away from action. These no cautions right here, that's going to be crucial. We know this setup's loose on cold tires, especially on cold tires. So you got to be careful. Don't try to get too much out of the car here. Try to think big picture. Just stay within that top 9, I think, because then you know you're punching your ticket into the feature event.
Yeah, actually, I just noticed you get your boy Jason Raymond here up front. I know you guys practice a lot, and Zach Murphy. Again, he ran this race great last season on the outside pole.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of speed right there. This is a heat race. Yes, they was not in the top 6, I know, but this is a lot of speed out there. As the green flag's getting ready to fly here. Green flag is out. Jason Raymond gets a decent jump, but it looked like the car with the best jump was the number 10 car, or maybe number 40. Yeah, number 40, excuse me. I apologize. Alex Coffey already got cars getting loose.
Coffey was aggressive in trying to get going there. I actually thought Zach Murphy was going to have a better spot to start.
I thought that Highland was going to be rolling right then, but
I agree.
Just wasn't. As I want to go back to our transfer spot of Zach Murphy has a problem. Zach Murphy is off the pace here. This driver may be thinking big picture here, Keith. He may be trying to finish 9th and get that invert, but that's a risky game to play.
And he's good enough he could do it. The interesting part, Stenjam, who we said may win this year, is climbing the field. And here comes Murphy. He's going to move right back up. He's going for the 9th spot. He's not dumb.
Yeah, he's thinking big picture here, folks. As we take a look at the transfer spot here, currently held by Hunter Harriet. He's racing Patrick James really hard. I mean, just gave him a little bit of a nudge right there. That's a beautiful 81 Steve Park spinoff, or Michael Waltrip, or Darrell Waltrip, whenever he drove with the paint scheme right there.
Oh God, the 81. Isn't that Steve? Wait, you test my memory back in the 90s there. I might be old, but is it
Steve Park? Steve Park, yes sir.
Yeah.
We got an update on Jason Raymond. Put it on the pole, but now he's fell back to 4th. I'm showing some drivers on pit road. Zach Murphy has been in an incident. Joseph Torchy and Scotty Stevens have all wrecked. We don't have time, folks, to go back and watch it. There's 9 laps to go here at Bristol. They click off fast.
Looks like Murphy was coming around. He got really up on a 10, tagged the wall, and then when he came off the wall, he took some people with him.
Yikes.
Right now, that last transfer spot's held by Hunter Merlot. Hunter Harriet. The 25 is sitting in the 9th spot right now.
I'm showing Danny Bond sitting in the 9th.
He moved up. Yep, in my view, he just dropped down. Yep,
Danny Bond is currently the last driver that's going to make it in right now as it's running, as it stands. Michael Dow is going to miss it, but he's close to that driver. Let's go cockpit with Michael Dow as he's trying to get that transfer spot. I hear a lot of off-throttle time for these drivers. They're battling some loose conditions. You see, it's nighttime here at Bristol now. The sun's went away. It's dark. Track's going to start cooling down. Hopefully get some more grip in these tires for these drivers.
It's interesting. Patrick James, who I actually thought was going to run really well, is actually running 11th, and he's losing ground.
I think that driver, number 81, I think he has some damage because he fell back really fast on my live scoring, and it actually showed that he went down pit road. As the battle up front for $15 right here, 3 laps to go at Bristol Motor Speedway, 14 seconds laps. This is going to go by fast. 2 laps to go this time by. They're going in turn 1. Riley is all over number 40 of Alex Coffey right now. Going to try to look underneath that driver. He just drives it off in there. Slight contact. Riley's getting loose. This driver's going to maybe miss the feature event right there off that move. He's down pit road, Keith.
Oh, my God. You know what? We talk about just a few dollars. Look at everybody goes after it. For a few dollars, they're going after it.
Just went after it. Did not think big picture right then. Now that driver is sitting 10th, going to try to get to Patrick James. Patrick James went from 0 to hero. He's sitting 9th now in the transfer spot. And no consolation race. You're either 9th. Ooh, we got a wreck on the. Oh, it's over. Never mind. Okay. I was going to say, we got a wreck happening right now. Man, oh man, if heat race number 2 is anything like heat race number 1, I'm not going to be able to stand it.
That was unbelievable. You know, they're going after the money. Everybody wants the money, and now he
It's the
sacrifices his
money,
chance to.
it's the pride, and he lost it all. There's no other way to make the show now, Keith. And that was your winner. I mean, that was your pick for the winner.
That was my pick. Zach Murphy didn't transfer. Scotty Stevens didn't transfer. A lot of good drivers did not transfer forward.
And that's what can happen right there, folks, when you go heat racing. I mean, anything can happen. And that just shows right there in racing, it's not over until that checkered flag waves. Alex Coffey brought it home, though. P1. Congratulations, Alex Coffey. Go ahead, Keith.
You know, it's funny. Everybody's got their own strategies these here, and I know Christian Pittman, his strategy is to run up front. My strategy is typically to run in the back and wait till the end. You know, that's why these strategies are so cool and awesome because everyone takes it to a different level.
You are exactly right. I mean, everybody's going to approach it different. You are exactly right. I've watched you and I've heard you mainly tell so many people it's all right. You can pass me. Just go by. Just go by here. You can come low here, and you do that because, like you just said, you're thinking big picture. You're thinking, okay, you might be faster than me on lap 25, but will you be faster than me on lap 125? We'll have to wait and see. And that's
actually my question is: will you still be here on lap 125?
That's it. That's even better. I mean, that is an even better way to look at it.
You know, I'm not trying to beat anybody up front. You know, I want to be there at the end. I don't win a lot of races, but you know what? If you look at my track record, lots of top tens, lots of top fives. That's by design.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And you know, there's another driver in here. He's not racing now. He's doing race control, but he is a driver that has that same approach as Joshua Sexton. I think the same way of him. Who's going to be that aggressor this race, though? Who's going to go for that $15 right now? Is somebody going to do what Riley did, drive it in there a little bit deep on turn 1? And I mean, Alex Coffey, he got lucky there. The iRacing gods looked after him because normally in these modifieds, especially with a loose setup, you get the door banging like that in these corners, you're going to go around.
So I think Brad Carpenter is going to be pretty aggressive here. He's been pretty fast tonight. Ray Fataruso has been very fast tonight. He also could play our game this year. Scott Russ, number 5. He's going to be a quiet killer. I actually like Scott a lot. Scott's a really good driver. Raced a couple races last season. He has a very similar strategy as mine. He will just get himself in. He'll be someone to watch in the feature race.
You're exactly right. His green flag is getting ready to come out here. Who's going to take home the $15 for heat race number 2 in the CLR Bristol 200 here? Got that 50 machine of Derek Gress. He's going to take the lead. Jesse Baker and Brad Carpenter. Slight contact between them drivers. They're trying to sort it out for P2, but it's all Derek Gress out front. That's some more contact with Brad Carpenter in the back. He's falling back now. That outside lane has not fired off very good here tonight, Keith.
No, this is the second race in the road. The outside lane didn't fire off that well.
See, a driver was sitting down low, James Sylvester and Connor King. If you're fans of them at home, folks, they were on pit road, got into an incident. It's still all Derek Gress out front, but he has his hands full of the driver number 79, Jesse Baker. He gets a little bit loose. That low line is just so hard to maintain the momentum down there.
Oh, here comes Federuso. He's up in the third here. Well, I'm still battling with Brad, but looks like he's going to take that spot now.
Brad's somebody that he reminds me a lot of Zach Murphy. He goes 110% at all times. I love Carpenter. I love how he races. I hear more crashing in my headset. But anyways, Carpenter, I figured he would be somebody to really watch in these heat races because he's one of the fastest guys I've ever seen on short runs. I mean, we see it every week. He qualifies up near the front. Now he runs it for 2. I'm not taking anything away from his long run speed, but he is really, really fast on the short runs. But man, oh man, I mean that outside line on the restart, I just don't think that's where you want to be on row number 1 right now. And
it's wild because I was actually thinking that outside line the first couple laps, get those heat in the tires is the way to go.
Right. I honestly thought we were going to have a problem where inside line, the pole sitter was going to not be happy because the outside line was beating him in turn 1 and beating him out of turn 2. Just because it's Bristol. I mean, the high line is normally dominant in most cars we run here. As we got drivers in the pits that are in the transfer spot. So there's been quite a bit of wrecks. I've seen at least 7 cars light up on my tattletale box that have wrecked out in this race.
If I'm reading it right, it looks like Connor King is in the transfer spot right now, and he's 3 laps down.
Right. So that shows stick with it right there. If you get wrecked out, just stick with it.
Jesse Baker, who I don't know a lot about, looks like he maybe has walked away with this one here in an easy fashion without too much challenge.
Jesse Baker, he's been wanting to come out and run some league races with us, but just never made it out. And you said you like racing with Scott Ross. He's sitting P6 right now, maybe thinking invert game. But Scott Ross just let me know today he will be back for season 4 starting next week, folks.
Yeah, so I didn't know who Scott was, and we ran last year at New Hampshire together, and me and him, we drove around, and he let me pass, I let him pass. We had a good little day together.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. Got Jesse Baker going into 3 and 4 here now. Your pick, Ray Fataruso, a guy you said we had to watch. He's worked his way up to P2. Derek Grass is, that driver's blinking. Number 50 is got a pretty consistent blink going on. Got some connection issues right now. But it's all Jesse Baker out front now with almost a 0.7 gap over second place.
Well, let's see if someone can pull him in here and make it fun.
So on the final lap, coming out of turn 4, I do believe here right now, Keith, Jesse Baker's going to make himself $15 richer by winning the heat race number 2 for the Crooked Line Racing Bristol 200. And now it's time. We're feature race. It's time, it's time, it's time. This is what we've been waiting for. Got Kelly Coffee in the chat saying go Coffee. That's Alex Coffee's mother. I'm interested to see how this field invert does. This is going to really, really shake some stuff up. It's actually put you up in the top portion, but it shouldn't. Oh, this is a warm-up session. Excuse me. So a little 5-minute warm-up session. I'm not sure if race control will advance this or not. Keith, you can actually, if you want, you can message Josh over iRacing and tell him he can advance if he wants.
I can do that for him right now.
It's totally in his control if he wants to do it.
So we have dual pit road tonight. You can hear a lot of the drivers questioning some of the fine nuances of what's going to happen here tonight. So they're prepared. They're preparing for the pit strategy that's about to come.
You're exactly right. So the dual pit road and the single pit road is always very confusing. And what I always tell people, because I don't know the true rule myself, I just tell people if you see a blue line on the track, don't enter there. But I'm pretty sure dual pit road, Keith, you can enter on both sides of the track. So if you're on the front stretch, you can pit on the front stretch. Is that correct?
Yeah, I thought you actually had that enter on the other side. Didn't we last year have to enter in the I got caught in this. I got black flag this last year.
I think if it's single road, it is like that. But if it's dual pit road, I don't believe it is. Now,
maybe that's what it was.
And I could be corrected. Maybe Mark Arthur in the chat. We know he's an old man, got a lot of knowledge. He may be able to chime in and let us know better. Or another viewer at home. Got 10 people watching right now on YouTube alone. So if you do let us know.
I'm willing to bet Mark Arthur can tell us who came up with the dual pit road idea, because he was probably alive when that was put in place.
Yeah, I mean, rumor has it Mark was the one that turned the lights on when Jesus said, "Let there be lights." But I mean, I've just never questioned it, you know.
Who would question Mark Arthur? Oh, right. Jesus.
I tell him all the time, one of these days he's going to say, you know what, guys? I was wrong. But it ain't happened yet. We're still waiting for it to happen. That's old Mark Arthur. That's our buddy. We like him. We give him a hard time because he gives us an even harder time.
I wish I could see some speeds here right now. I'd love to know who's turning top laps. We know the usual suspects will be up there, but now that some of these guys got some more laps out of there, I think these heat races are good. They give some of the guys some laps, gives them some laps around other people. That's not 100 cars on the track. They can actually do some racing.
So I'm sharing my screen, Keith. We got Fataruso is currently sitting P1 with a 13.990, a little bit slower than what we were seeing in practice, but still a really fast lap. And then Chris Horton sitting P2, and then James Stanger sitting P3. So I mean, that was pretty much your consensus in the top. That was in the top during practice. A few different names in there, but not a lot.
Oh,
Connor,
Fanarusa has been fast right along. So,
right,
and I don't know who that is. So it's interesting to see some new people up here. I like to see some fresh blood up here.
right on.
Good. So it'll be interesting to see tonight. You know, we've got some new guys here. We've got some old guys here. We've got some really aggressive drivers here, and we've got some laid back ones. The first part of this race, you're going to see people trying to feel each other out. You know, really aggressive drivers, they're going to find their way through the field or in trouble. So you're going to see that a lot of people going up and down within the field tonight, and it's just going to be people kind of finding their place. You know, if you're the 10th fast driver, you're probably going to run around 10th, and then you're going to see tires playing to it later on. So there's going to be a lot of strategy that's going to come into this race, probably around lap anywhere between lap 80 to a buck 30. There's gonna be a lot of strategy coming into place because people are gonna need gas right around that time, and they're also gonna try and be getting tires in there for that second half run. So there'll be a lot of strategy involved. You're gonna see your favorite drivers lose laps. You're gonna see your favorite drivers get laps back. In the end, the guys that run up front will end up front. That's just how it works out. We're still seeing Stranger up front with Fataruso second here in the warm-ups. Top speed right now is a 13.9. Fataruso, 13.94. Fataruso's got a 13.99. Chris Carroll has entered the track. He's a low 14. He's third fastest right now. He was actually second fastest during the first warm-up and actually qualified on the pole for tonight's race. But then I'll see the inverts. He's actually starting 25th. He is now the fastest driver on the track as well. You're going to see him come through. He's going to come through this field like a bat out of hell. He's not going to sit back in the back of the pack. He doesn't want to be in the middle. He wants to be up front. He's going to take his place. So people like him are going to find their way to the front. It's going to be fast and furious. You'll see Thomas Axum following up through, going to the front as well. You can see Christian Pittman is not going to sit back. He's going to be really aggressive getting up front. You may see Alex Coffey. We may even see some of these guys working together because they race each other every week. So you may see pairs of people kind of trying to stick together as they make their way to the front.
All right, sorry guys. I'll give you another peek behind the curtain. Everybody in my house is sick right now. My son, my stepson, my fiance, and now I'm starting to feel the sore throat bug. So quietly told Keith he needed to talk for a little bit. I need to go find some cough drops, and unfortunately for me, I did not find none. So it's gonna be a long night for Tanner, but I tell you what, it's gonna be a long night for these drivers too. 200 grueling laps around Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm excited, Keith.
Well, fortunately for you, I can talk and I can talk a lot. So
Well,
you may not want to listen to it.
I'm gonna lean on you tonight, brother. I got to.
So these guys are coming through. I was talking about how quick we're going to watch someone like Axum and Carroll and Pittman try and get to the front because they're not comfortable running in the back or the middle. How quickly they're going to try and get to the front and how dangerous it is to get there, but how gratifying it is once they get there. I'm guessing they'll be there within 30 laps for any of these guys.
It's crazy to think about with the field invert, bro. The speed that we got at the back of this field. And I don't want to think anybody is thinking that I'm knocking them because I promise you I'm wholeheartedly not. It's just those guys in the field are just so fast. It's insane.
I remember about 2 months ago, Carroll gets in a league race for the first time in one of these modifieds. He's like, hey, I just bought this car today. He's like, I really don't know much about it. And then he was about 2/10 faster than the entire field in about 6 laps. So he's fast in everything he does.
Right. It's always amazing how that works. Having some issues with my ticker right now. It wouldn't be a Five Kings Network broadcasting if we didn't have a few hiccups along the way. Unlike most broadcasters, I don't try to hide it. I'm out front. I'm a storybook that's very open. About to go green flag racing. Field's going to be in control of Mr. Patrick James with Matthew G. Baker starting outside row number 1.
Green flag.
As Matthew, he doesn't wait. He gets a great jump right there, and I still don't have a ticker going for whatever reason. It's not coming up. That's annoying. So we'll have to go with this for right now, folks. But we still got Patrick James sitting out front, looking pretty as ever in that 81 Steve Park replica machine.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Patrick. I've raced a lot with Patrick. He's a good driver. He knows how to conserve his tires. If he can get out in front and run away, he's going to put some gaps in there. Then he's going to slow it up and save them tires. It's a long race.
You're exactly right, folks. It's a long, long race. 200 laps at Bristol. You see the 10 car. He's looking strong. That's Michael Dow, Matthew G. Baker, and Jessica Can. They are battling side by side pretty hard right there. But Matthew Baker got the advantage. Got a little slight bump from the driver number 37, though.
And I like to point out, we talked about one of the front. Christian Pittman started 15th, and he's already up to the 6th spot.
What is that driver doing? How in the world has he gained that many spots in that number 8 McConey setup shop machine? What is he doing differently than these other drivers? Up 10 spots since they've gridded, Keith, and we're only 6 laps into this race.
Oh, we're wrecking.
We got a caution on the speedway. Ray Fataruso has went around according to the Tattletale box. Let's go check it out. And I'm seeing some other big names in here. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, almost gets 3 wide at Bristol. That's never going to work. They sorted out. I think Netco did them boys no favor there. And then it's just mayhem after that. Let's go back. We'll get a little bit wider camera angle here. Try to see how many cars, in fact, was collected in that mayhem right there. You know, Keith, the drivers all did a really good job avoiding that. A really good job of avoiding what could have been catastrophe.
Oh, you can't hear who's watching, but when that happened, Brad Carpenter called it out. He called out where he was so people could avoid it. He called out right away.
Oh, okay.
I can't tell if the 33 slid up the Carpenter's or Carpenter came down a little bit. They definitely met in the middle somewhere.
This is getting annoying. I don't know why my ticker at the top is not working, but it just will not scroll.
So it looks like the 33 is taking the blame for this one here. He's going to get the EOL. He said the same thing I did. He felt that he may have creeped up, and then Carroll might have creeped down. Either way, he's taking the blame for it.
All right, folks, I'm going to try something that Mark Arthur told me to do. He told me to reload overlay. Let's see what happens here. Nope, ticker is still not working. I think it's something to do with the heat race format, so I think it threw something off. I'm not exactly sure. It don't matter. We still got it on the side. You got Mr. Patrick James in 81 still going to be in control of this field when they go back green flag racing. Now, you'll have to keep me up to date, Keith, with what the drivers are saying. So, if a driver's wanting to take the high side on a restart or what, just let me know.
I can do that. I'm actually having a hard time keeping my my stream live for whatever reason. It's falling behind. We have 2 to green calling it out. Patrick James is not called high or low.
So I guess that driver is going to elect to take the low line here tonight. As I'm seeing, Thomas Axum is hitting pit road with 2 to go. I'm not sure about this right here.
He may not realize he can choose.
He might not. That's a very good point.
No, you know what Axum's doing? Axum is doing. So Chris Carroll is trying to get an EOL, and they will not give him one because he wants to move to the back. Axum just drove down pit road. He's coming out the back. There you go. Axum just gave himself an EOL by going on pit road.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I don't know if that's considered circumventing the rules or not, but he did exactly what Chris Carroll wants.
Okay.
I think we may see them right around the back the entire night.
I don't like that they're doing that. I hope Josh noticed that. I mean, it's
Uh,
kind of hard to
you know, it's
police.
because Axum just called it out and said he did it, so Josh knows.
Okay. Okay. It's just almost, it's not against the rules, you know, but it's almost undercutting the rule. If Josh came out and said he had no EOL, we should have said if you go down pit lane, you got to take service. But, oh well, 81 fires off, gets a great jump. That's twice in a row we've seen 81 jump out. Got Matthew G. Baker behind him with his hands full of a hard charging number 8 machine, Christian Pittman. You mentioned it earlier. We saw that 8 machine dominate when we were here before for our Crooked Line Racing League race on Tuesday nights. Did not get the win, ran out of fuel, but that driver, he's full eyes ahead right now. He is surging, and he is surging hard right now. He's looking to the outside of the 81. Christian Pittman to the front. Number 8 machine is P1 on the board now after starting 15th on the board.
Yeah, we kind of knew that was going to happen. I'm actually really surprised how quick it went. I didn't recognize his new paint scheme.
That's a Jason Raymond and Tanner Moore specialty right there. We put that together in about 40 minutes for Christian Pittman. How you like the number on the quarter panel?
Let me zoom in and take a see. I kind of like it.
It's something different, you know, a little different vibe to it.
No, it's definitely supporting butt kicker McConey well. You can see it well.
Right. And we love our sponsors here. Speaking of our sponsors, those two that we Keith just mentioned right there. TheButtKicker.com, McConey Setup Shop LLC.com. Use the promo code number 5 and then the word Kings. No space in between. That's number 5, then the word Kings. KINGS. Get you 20% off your entire order at TheButtKicker.com. Get you 10% off your order every time you order one of the fast rocket ship of a setup from Jeff McConey and his team of drivers over there at McConey Setup Shop LLC.
Someone just called a car out on the wall. I don't see it though. Oh, if they just tapped it and kept going. Pittman stretched out to a 2.5 second lead, by the way. He didn't waste no time running away from people.
But you know, that worries me because it's lap 20. Is he asking too much out of his equipment right now? Is he maybe using that right front, that right rear a little bit too much? I'm seeing him. He's starting to work that car. Caution is on the speedway. Connor King is telling me that he went around. I keep going back to the ticker, seeing if it's going to work, and it just not going to do it, folks. Let's see what happened here with Connor. You see him right there, number 52. A little bit of net code between him and Jessica. Hits that apron and just nowhere to go. Heads up move by all the drivers. It's a single car incident. You don't see that much at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, no, he just touched that apron. That apron is unforgiving. It'll be interesting to see if they knock the front toe out.
Oh, just got an update from Brendan Mettler. Jessica Can is a real-life late model driver in the North Carolina area. Used to race in the Cars Tour, so glad to have Jessica Kane on board racing with us here tonight. Slight contact between her and Connor King right there, and then Connor King got the apron and just sent that car on around. But what are you talking about? Keith, you mentioned that Chris Pittman had almost a 2.5 second lead. And now that's just squandered away. They're going to be re-racked and see if that driver can do it again, number 8.
I do agree that I think he's going to burn this stuff up. But we've seen in the past, Christian will ride these things on the rims and still be fast, so he doesn't really matter.
In the words of Mark always says he has tire hacks. But you know what, right now, Keith, I think now is a perfect time before these cars get beat up too much. Let's transition over to the MF Race Design's best paint scheme of the night. Let me know who you got.
Ooh, let me take a peek here. Who do we have here?
Got to go through the field a little bit, but you got to do it quick.
I actually I like the 10 of Michael Dow.
The 10 of Michael Dow. I'm not.
So, hang on.
What place is Michael Dow? Okay.
No. Check out Jessica Can's paint schemes. Is tight.
I like Jessica Can's paint scheme a lot.
I'm with the Black Acid Custom Apparel. I am all over that. I like it a lot.
My paint scheme. So yours is Jessica Carroll. Mine is going to have to go to, let's see here, folks, as the lights go off on the pace car. I don't know here. I'm gonna go with Chris Horton in the 42. It's a little bit basic, white and baby blue. I like the numbers on top, how it looks. I'm pretty sure that's just an iRacing design, but nonetheless, I like the way those colors go together. And also, I kind of ran out of time, so Chris Horton won my MF Racing Design's Best Paint Scheme of the Night. Jessica Can won the MF Racing Design's Best Paint Scheme of the Night from Keith Mack.
I'm actually surprised you didn't pick Pittman because you painted it.
Well, I wanted to, but I'd be called a homer. So,
I had called you a homer for doing it. I still can't believe you didn't do it because that's something you do.
right, yeah. I mean, I wanted to. I thought about it.
Hey, have we noticed any drivers in the pits getting tires? I mean, I get gas.
So I've been busy. I haven't even really paid attention. So I can tell who's pitted though. Thus far, Keith, we had Brad Carpenter. He pitted on lap 8. James Stanger, Alex Coffey, and Thomas Axum, Chris Carroll. They all pitted on lap 23 or 24. With Ray Fatarusso pitted on lap 6.
So some of that might have been repair stuff, but if they're smart, they're grabbing some gas there also. Just keep ticking it up just a little bit at a time.
Right, because we talk about it, me and Joe do, every Tuesday night. These cars, for whatever reason, take forever and a day to add fuel in. So if you can add it in increments, that's what you need to do. Christian Pittman chose the high side here, gets a great jump. So now drivers know leader does have lane choice. Got a great jump right then. We've seen the leader all night get a great jump, except for the heat race number 1.
It's the first high side down good jump we've seen so far, and this doesn't shock me at all.
Right. I mean, this is what we thought coming into Bristol here. I mean, high side is the preferred lane in 99.9% of the cars, but I'm noticing now, and I mean, we saw it a little bit ago. Christian Pittman was and is starting to get a little bit looser than what he was earlier in the race. So I think we're already starting to see those tires start to come into a factor. We're only 30 laps into this.
Well, he needs to give another 100 laps out of these tires. We haven't. This is a new set for us here. Yeah, this isn't the set we ran last time. We don't know what this is going to look like after 100 laps. I will say,
right.
Axum and Carroll are working together, staying in the back. They're communicating about what their plans are. Everybody hears it. They're just going to wait this thing here out until lap 50 or 100 before they start moving.
And we see this all the time. These two drivers, they link up on track. As caution's out on the track, Michael Dow, Tattletale Box has told me that Michael Dow has went around. Let's go back and see if we can get on the replay here. There you see, he just enters 3 and 4 there. Jessica Kane right there got lucky again. Jessica Kane barely escaped away with no damage, but unfortunately, Michael Dow, he didn't get damaged, but he wasn't fortunate enough to keep all 4 wheels pointed straight.
So that's a situation where the Dow just touched the apron just a little bit.
Hey, we got pit road starting to get a little bit of action here. Matthew G. Baker was running P2, gave that up. He's going out pit lane here. Got actually a lot of people on pit lane. Alex Coffey's on pit lane. Connor King's on pit lane. Michael Dow, the caution car, he is now on pit lane. And, ooh, mental mistake right there for Matthew G. Baker. Overshot his pit stall. And now driver he is gone, I think. Did Matthew Baker leave?
Couldn't have. Did he really?
I think he did.
Yeah, he disconnected.
Yep. Oh, well. Good riddance. We'll see you later. The less drivers we get running, we know this when we do these hosted races where anybody can join, Keith. They start out a little bit messier in the start, and then before long, we start to dwindle down to about 15 or so cars, and then we start having some really good racing. And there's been good racing here tonight, too. There's been some cautions, but that's to be expected at Bristol Motor Speedway. Thomas Axel back on pit road. Scott Ross is on pit road. Brad Carpenter came back, and Ed Brown is now getting service as well.
And Chris Carroll is actually getting gas, I believe.
Chris Carroll's on pit road?
I believe he is.
I'm showing him.
Maybe it's a different blue car I was looking at.
You see, SDK gives me all this knowledge. It's a lot of buttons, a lot of letters and numbers in front of me, so it's hard to decipher sometimes. But it is pretty cool how the system works here when it works right. Speaking of that, let's see if my ticker's working now.
So I see you
still not working.
Ticker looks fine on the stream, but my stream also sits about 10 seconds behind you, and I don't know why.
So it's the The sidebar ticker is okay. It's the one that scrolls across the top. It's not showing anybody's name up there for whatever reason. Not exactly sure
Oh, I'm with
why
you.
that. Not exactly sure why that is, but oh well.
So after this all flushes out, Chris Carroll, who wanted to be in the back this entire race, finds himself in the most undesirable position to be. He's smack in the middle at the 11th
Yep,
spot.
right in the hornet's nest. Right in
Don't
the
want to be
hornet's
there.
nest with
You either
no
want to be up front or in the back, not in the middle.
no real friendlies around him either. Yes, Ed Brown races in the league, Scott Ross does, but if you look in front of him, he don't have a lot of people he knows in front of him to work with here. Man, that's a very dangerous spot.
So I'm actually going to give you a little tidbit here about Jessica Ken. Jessica Ken, her car owner is sitting in the 9th spot right now.
Oh, Tony
So
Brent.
Bill Petroff.
Oh,
You want to
it's showing as number 10. It's because the Tony's in front of him. I got you.
uh,
Bill Petroff,
yeah.
whatever.
Yep, he actually owns her car, so tour car.
Wow, right on. As we go back up front, Christian Pittman gets a good jump. Got teammate Jason Raymond firing off with him. I'm sure those drivers communicated because it was not nearly as big of a jump as what we saw before. Danny Bone sitting P3, Patrick James P4, and they are racing side by side. Jessica Kane, Jesse Baker, they're racing for P5.
You know what? It's a little early for that. Jessica gave it up. I think that's a smart move just to get in line and tick off some of these laps here, just stay competitive.
Now she's got James Stanger. He was the fastest driver in practice earlier. He's currently on the inside of her. Let's see if she's going to try to battle or just let him go. She's going to let that driver go as well. Very smart move.
Oh, she's got her car owners right behind her. With Bill sitting at 15, so he's right behind her.
With Chris Horton. Chris Horton hits the apron a little bit right then, washes up, almost gets into the 15, Keith. That apron, it's going to be a doozy all night.
I think that's because drivers are trying to overcorrect for the looseness, and then that's what's getting them in trouble.
Right. As we get an update on Chris Carroll, Thomas Axum, they're currently sitting 11th, 12th. Ed Brown sitting 13. Got Brad Carpenter. He went in for some fuel as well. P14 with Alex Coffey and him currently battling for 14th. Alex Coffey, power move, goes to the inside of that number 46 machine and takes the lead, or takes the spot, excuse me.
I'm actually watching the race up front. Jason Raymond is taking the top spot from Christian.
Oh.
It looks like he's starting to put a little bit of space in between, so there's a little space between them and the biggest space between them and third. But I wonder if that clean air out front is really key. It's interesting to see if Jason can run away from Christian, and Christian's got to stick right behind him.
I wonder if Christian's almost just letting Jason go right now, thinking big picture, but it don't look like he's really letting him go much.
I can't imagine Christian can let anybody go much, but just to let him get out in front and just kind of let him ride a little bit and save some tires, not a bad move on Christian's part. It's a sign of maturity.
But he's not letting him go very far, is he? He's staying right there on that driver, trying to force a mistake out of number 44 machine, Jason Raymond. Those are our two youngest members right then on 5 King Motorsports, battling it out for $25 in the Crooked Line Racing Bristol 200 pride of winning.
But yeah, Chris Carroll's moved up to the 11th spot. Jessica Can still sitting there in the 7th spot. Patrick James is sitting 4, like right behind him.
Yep.
He's hanging in there. Scott Ross has dropped back as we expected. He's back to the 15. Surprisingly, Alex Coffey's sitting at 14. I thought he'd have started his descent up by now, but Coffey's sitting back there too.
Coffey elected to come in. He pitted a lap later than everybody else, so I think that automatically made him start at the tail end of the field. And it shows now because he went from running like 7th to running 13th. So he's got a hill to climb. He's got Thomas Axum right there in front of him with Chris Kell in front of him. So if those three drivers can link up right there, they can be some big movers. The driver I'm watching right now, Jesse Baker, he's been the fastest car on the track the last 3 laps around. So he is catching the top 2 drivers.
Well, and as we can see, Pittman's not going to want to sit back there. If they're going to caught Pittman's going to run away with this.
Yep, battle for the lead here. Pittman looking low. Pittman actually goes to the apron right there. Raymond's got the momentum on the high side. What's going to happen this time out of the corner? He's going to use a pit car. He's got a lap car as a pick. Pittman put his teammate in a bad spot right there. Man, oh man, that could have been dangerous.
There really was no place for that 10 to go. The 10 did the good spot. He held the line
Yeah,
up there
he did it.
out of the way.
He did his job. I mean, it's the lead lap car's responsibility to get by him clean. And I said Christian put his teammate in a bad spot. He really didn't. They came up on that lap car so fast that it was going to happen. But Christian definitely used that 10 car as a pick over Jason Raymond, and that hurt Jason Raymond. That put him back to P3.
That means you can see how much he has to go up front, or is Mr. Baker here gonna put a stamp in this here race and overtake the young gun?
Fastest car that time on the track was Tony Brent, number 15.
Geez, he's sitting back in the 6th spot, 7th spot.
Sitting 7th right now. P7 on the board, trying to chase down Danny Bond and Patrick James.
But another one. Look at all the fresh air in front of him. We got a little bit of a gap.
We got trouble. Sorry to interrupt you. James Stanger, our fastest driver in practice, is slow on the track. If he stops on track for a caution, this driver might get booted.
What happened? He was running up in the 6th spot. He stopped.
He's still sitting there. Somebody needs to get rid of that driver.
He brought out the yellow.
Jesse Baker, our leader, got into him because he's sitting there like a dimwit. Unbelievable.
He was off the track. He was off the track. He was way into the.
What's he doing there though? What's he doing?
He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there.
Unbelievable.
But how did the leaders hit him?
I'm not sure. We got to go back and see what happened there. I'm not sure. Unbelievable. Not believe it just happened. First, we're going to see what happened with Brad Carpenter here. It's saying he crashed first for whatever reason. Okay, he did crash first. Oh, Pittman gets into him. This is how they got into him. Lap car had actually nothing to do with this. But he still shouldn't have been there. But you just seen what happened right there. Brad Carpenter and Christian Pittman. Like Christian tried to get around Carpenter too quick. If we go to TV2 here, get a little bit further back. Christian tries to look low. Oh, pushes up into Carpenter. And then, man, oh man, just nowhere to go for everybody else. A lot of fast drivers right then just got involved in that incident.
Wow, that's terrible. So now you can see drivers, they're going to have to use their fast pass. There's no way that actually doesn't take out those fast pass. And you've got a long way to go. You're only a third of the way through this race, quarter of the way.
Right. I mean, whoa, that's not a position I want to be in at all. I'd rather be in Patrick James' position, currently sitting P1, leading this field around this short coliseum of a track.
Well, and Patrick James is smart. He has just kind of sat back. Someone wanted to lead. He let him take it. He hung in there. He's been in the top 5 all night long. Not aggressively going after, just ticking laps off. It's a brilliant move by his spot. You maybe get yourself a get out jail free card if he wins this.
You're exactly right. And we got another busy pit road. I'm sure these drivers are electing to take for Mr. Feelgoods, or not for, excuse me, taking a fast repair. Sorry. Christian Pittman has disappeared. Did that driver leave as well?
No, he did not. Oh, yes, he did. Manual disconnected.
Wow.
Did he already waste his fast repair?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Interesting that worked out. I'm hoping some of these drivers just took gas and did not mistakenly take 4 tires. I thought I could hear some tires being changed.
I did too.
It's too early for that. You've got 150 laps to go.
Way too early now. You could look like a genius if this thing was to go green for this long, but I mean the trend of the race thus far has not been that way.
Even if this thing here goes green 150 laps from now and no one's tires are going to be any good, no matter if you got them now or
Absolutely. You're exactly right. Especially that right rear. Exclusively for all these cars. I mean, it's a given. Looking at some of the I ratings of this race right here, we had a 6,000 I rating here, a couple 4,000, a few 5,000. This has been a high, almost an 8,000 in here. This is a very, very high strength of field we got in this lobby.
Well, look at our Tuesday night league here, our Crooked Line Racing on Tuesday night. We're averaging almost 2,800 I rating every Tuesday night. And, I come in with a 2,600. I'm dragging it down. There's a lot of fast, clean drivers.
I love how competitive the the Tuesday night series is. I say it all the time that, and I know it may sound bad when I say it. I don't mean it to be, but like the top half of that field on every Tuesday night, it's remarkable. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable.
It is, but I'll tell you what. Look at the bottom half of the field. Any of those guys could take someone out any given night. Top to bottom, that's a fast lead.
Goofy. As we see Patrick James struggles on that restart. Danny Bone actually beat him to the line. Interesting to see if there's a black flag to come from that. I'm not sure how Irish is going to call that. You just let me know. We got a new leader out front in the 659 of Danny Bone. Patrick James is not letting that driver get too far out of sight, though. And we got some hard racing for third position here. It's a familiar face up front, Thomas Axum, trying to get P3 away from Tony Brent.
Can anybody say they're shocked by Axum? He's now up in the third. He said he wanted to have to run lap 50. 65 here he is going by Mr. James on the outside.
And he is going with a mission. He is on a complete mission right now, folks. Going to be racing for the lead. Takes the lead, muscles it away from the 659. New race leader, Thomas Axum, number 13, is out front.
So here's that. Thomas could get out there and just run away with this thing right now. Moses Field. But the interesting thing about Thomas is everyone's like, oh, tires. Thomas don't care. Thomas could be out here in a big wheel, and he's going to lead this thing on 3 tires. He is. Oh, we got a car on the wall.
I saw that. I'm trying to figure out who that was. I thought it was Coffee, but it was not Coffee. Give an update on Jason Raymond. Saw that driver got out front, was battling, got involved in that incident. Had to use a fast repair, worked his way back up to P6, so he's still eyes forward. It was Tony Brent that got into the wall. That driver was battling for third and fourth and got into the wall a little bit, fell back to P7. Chris Carroll has his hands full, got a lot of traffic right there in front of him. And then your pick, Ray Fataruso, he is still out on track. He's only shown as 1 lap down now, so that shows to stick around, you're doing good, because he was 3 laps down at one point.
He should get that back. You're guaranteed to have couple more cautions here. It's still 140 laps to go, 130 laps to go. So he'll get that back. He'll be around the end, I hope. Scott Ross, another one that I liked a lot. He's sitting 4 laps down. That may be a long night for him.
As Thomas Axum, he's opened it up to almost a 1.3 second of a lead over Mr. Second Place, Danny in the 659 machine. That's a weird number, but we like it. With Patrick James P3 and cautions on the speedway, I'm showing Jason Raymond has crashed in the tattletale box.
Let's see what happened. What happened?
Oh, that driver's loose there. Coming out of turn 2. He's still loose. Still trying to save it. Was not able to get it saved. Good heads up driving by all the drivers. They went high. No damage.
You didn't touch a thing.
Didn't touch a thing. So, I mean, yes, you lost track position, but you didn't touch a thing. You think pit road's going to be busy again? We've had, there's been still a few drivers that has not pitted yet, Keith. I want to update you on the ones that have not pitted. You got Danny Bone, Bohn, has not pitted. Patrick James has not pitted. Jessica Can has not pitted. And Tony Brent. Those are the 4 drivers left on track that have elected not to pit as of yet.
So here's the open discussion. Do you give up the track position to get some gas now?
I do. I absolutely do. And my whole reason is there's only 10 cars, getting ready to be 11 cars on the lead lap. So yes, you are losing track position. Yes, you are going to the back if you are running first, second, third. But you check that box. If you know at some point you're going to finally be good to make it. You can have, 22 gallons in these cars, Keith? You race them more than I do. About 22 gallons is full, correct? Or is it 18?
22. No, I think it is 22, and you're going to get right about 120, let's say 125 laps on a tank.
Now, when we did our league race here now, and remember, Christian ran out of fuel, but he ran out of fuel late. We had 18.9 in the tank then. And the reason why I know that is because I took that set and tried to transfer it over to this set. It had 18.9 gallons in it.
So this may have 18. I don't remember. But I do know, if you're gonna play the track position and you're gonna stay out front, which I personally I would 100% do because we still got 15 cars in track. There's still a lot of cars out there. You've got 5 of those cars not in the lead lap. They're going to be in the way. There's going to be more cautions. It's going to give you more time to, save some fuel for later on. I would stay out.
I think
You're also going to
if
want to try and get tires later on too.
now that's what I was gonna say. Now, if I knew whenever I'm pitting for tires, if I can make it from now to then, and I knew whenever I pit for tires, I can get enough fuel in without going a lap down because it does take a long time. If I can get enough fuel in when I take my tires to not have to come back down pit road, then I would stay out right now. Which you should be able to. I think you can have 22.9 gallons in these cars, but the setup itself started out with only 18.9.
So they've got probably about 50 laps left in that setup gas. I think you'll see another caution. And the closer we get to lap 100, I think that's when you start coming in because then you're going to get tires that second half of the race. These guys coming in now, if they're getting tires now, they're going to be in trouble later on. And they're going to be doing the only thing we're doing to Thomas Axum is wait until Messi laps them.
You're exactly right. I mean, you're exactly right. And I'm trying to do something behind the scenes real quick.
I might just do anything Thomas does. I think if Thomas pulled over to go to the bathroom, I might just get up and go with him. Like whatever Thomas does, I do. He's leading the race.
You're going with him, huh? Wherever he goes, you're going.
That's it. We're gonna hold hands the whole way. It looks like we've got Mr. Carroll's moved himself up in the 7th. Familiar Ed Brown, who we like, is up there.
Oh, Thomas Axum don't get the jump that he needed. We saw at 4 or 6:59 get the jump last restart and got the lead. He didn't get the lead this time, but he fired off right there with the 13. I want to give a shout out right now, though, to the USAFirearms.com. He gave us a comment in our chat saying strong field on Monday nights also with Tandem R in it. That's a little joke. We appreciate that. That's owned by Brian Zimmerman. He races with us on Monday nights and sometimes on Tuesday nights. And like I said, got their logo on the screen now. It's USAFirearms.com for all your firearms needs. Look them up, man. I mean, you mentioned the word firearms or guns nowadays. It has such a stigma about it. But for the ones that like hunting, home protection, just anything gun related, visit USAFirearms.com. And maybe just maybe we can get a 5 Kings promo code out of that.
Oh, maybe Mr. Zimmer can make that happen. Let's go, Zim. Listen, Axum is not pulling out that big lead he thought. Actually, Patrick James is in 3rd, and he is pulled in, Danny. So these cars are staying tight. These top 5 are staying really tight. You see that big gap back in the 6th to Ed Brown. Now it's Jason Raymond.
Jason Raymond's trying to make his way back up front.
But these top 5 cars just kind of ticking off laps. They're staying pretty tight. Axum's got a little bit of lead, but he's not running away with it.
I'm expecting a green flag run to break off here because, like we said, 15 cars on the track. They're starting to learn the setup now. Contrary to that, though, the right rear is starting to wear more. When that right rear starts to get less percentage on it, it starts to wear more and more. This car's going to get harder and harder to drive. I actually want to jump back on board with Thomas Axum here. We're going to see how he's approaching this track. He has a pretty aggressive driving style. We see him work that wheel a lot on Tuesday nights. And never mind, we have a caution at Speedway, and that's Patrick James has went around, I do believe.
He was just making a move. I was getting ready to zoom in on him. Get ready to make a move for 2nd place.
As it's showing me the wrong driver. There we go. We see him getting loose a little bit on the bottom right there, Keith. He's trying to get to... Oh, just gets into the back of him and then nowhere to go for the 15. Heads up driving, though, by all the other drivers. They scattered. I mean, I saw cars going left, cars going right, and they dodged the fiasco happening out their windshield. Tough break for Patrick James, though, but you can let me know, did that driver go a lap down? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. It does not appear at this point. That's too bad. He was having a good run. He should not have used his fast pass yet.
He was having a very good run.
I'm not sure. He is taking the blame for that one. He was down. I don't think he necessarily came up too high up. I'm not necessarily going to say that was all his fault. There was some racing involved there. he's actually back in pit road again. I wonder if he's trying to fix it without wasting his fast repair.
You might be right.
And he has dropped a lap down now. And he's getting tires now. He has dropped a lap and he's getting tires.
Okay.
Right side of the car just went up.
I mean, it's a little. It could be seen as a little early, I guess. But I mean,
well, so he had not pitted for gas yet.
Right.
A few of the other guys up there have not pitted for gas yet. If we're gonna get a long run like you had expected, then gas is gonna play into for a handful of these drivers.
So there's only one driver on track thus far that has not pitted, and that's Jessica Can, a driver out of North Carolina in the late model series. She raced in the Cars Tour. She's out here racing with us tonight. She's sitting P2, has not took that pretty number 37 machine down pit road.
So this comes down to experience here. I wonder if she realizes that gas is going to play into this here in the next 40 laps or so.
Right. Now, this is not going to be a knock on any of these drivers, but I see she's only got a C-class license with not a low I rating, but not as high as what I would expect watching her here, because obviously she has good speed. So I'm wondering if she's kind of fairly new to iRacing and hasn't done these tour mods very often.
Well, even if you've done these tour mods, 200 laps is a long time to sit on one of these seats for one of these races. She may have not have done one of these. Maybe she has. Maybe she's smiling both of us. That's why we're here and she's there. She may be laughing at the two fat guys in the booth. Like she may have resolved Buffalo right now.
Yeah, right on. You're exactly right. As they're getting ready to go back green flag racing here, folks.
This is like an insult to injury. Patrick James takes the guy out, loses a lap, loses fast pass. Oh, by the way, you got the elbow.
Guys, we're about to go green flag racing here. That number 44 gets right up on Thomas, trying to time it right. Going to see if they can leave Jessica Kane out to dry here. Jason Raymond should be able to take that spot away from her, but it's going to be hard charging on the outside. Thomas Axum still the driver out front right now.
So currently, Ray Federuso has a black flag that he's looking to get removed. Evidently, somebody passed him for the start-finish line. Who I said he was going to get his lap back.
Sorry, Keith. I had a mic for a minute. Had a little boys and they're crying right now, so I had to see what was going on. The perks of fatherhood, folks. Hey, Jason Raymond's looking pretty strong right now, P2. He's not allowing Axum in that 13 machine to get too far away, and Jessica can. She is staying right there as well. Alex Coffey's worked his way back up to P4 here. This could be...
you know what she's saying. You know where you can put your C license.
Right, exactly.
I'd love to see a newcomer come in here and whoop up and take some money home. I think it'd be great.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, she's looking like she can do it right now. Jason Raymond, sorry, I stuttered. Jason Raymond got really loose right there in front of her. We've seen 3 drivers almost wipe out in front of that number 37 tonight. She may be the kryptonite out here for these drivers.
So Federuso just served that black flag. Unfortunately, he fought to get 3 laps back, and now Axum's actually going to give him his lap back.
Race manipulation at its finest.
Axum gives him the lap back after he's fought back for 3. That's actually not a good move.
That's a good move by Axum. As a race control admin, I don't like seeing that. But as a fellow racer, if that was me in Federuso's in Federuso's shoes, man, I would be making sure Axum was on my Christmas list this year.
That just shows you how confident Axum is that he can pull away when he wants to. He gave him his lap back, and he's not worried about it.
But he's not really pulling away, though, Keith. At number 37, she's slowly but surely getting there. She was faster that time by, but this time around, fastest car on the track, let him cycle a little bit. Fastest car on the track that time around was Chris Horton in the number 42 machine. And he's in traffic, so that's fairly impressive. Patrick James, we mentioned him a while ago. He's the first driver on fresh rubber here. Is he going to be able to get up there and get his lap back the old-fashioned hard way? Right now, he needs to get in front of Danny Bond in a 6:59 in order to be the lucky dog.
Boy, that's tough because those two guys ran up front a lot tonight.
The pace that I'm seeing from Danny, I'm kind of curious if maybe he took 4 fresh tires as well. Because that time around, he was the fastest car on track. With guess who was second fastest? Patrick James. And we had 2 cars going around. Jason Raymond. We saw it live, folks. Danny Bone and Jason Raymond. That should allow Patrick James to be in lucky dog spot. No caution on the speedway for that, huh? Jason Raymond still sitting down there. No caution. I don't like it when drivers...
Raymond's really struggling with the loose car tonight. That's not his first time around.
He has been. He's been struggling a lot. And I hate seeing guys try to wait for a caution. Since we did stay under green, I want to jump back with Danny Bond and see what happened here to that driver. I mean, we pretty much know it was Jason Raymond broke loose, and that's the way it looked. Yeah, Jason Raymond's loose right there. Loose again. Can't save it. And just, man, oh man, nowhere to go for the driver of the number 659 of Danny Bond.
That's unfortunate because Danny's had a good run tonight.
Right. Both of these drivers have had a great run. But, man.
Well, hopefully we see Danny being 3 laps down or 4 laps down. His night's virtually over at this point. It's a lot to come back to with we're 110 laps in.
It's Tony Brent.
I hope we see more of him. I hope he comes back next week. I think he's been good tonight. I think we've seen some good talent out here tonight.
Tony Brent just muscled second place away from Jessica Can. He is trying to come. And now, folks, I want to let y'all know, I let the drivers know earlier, I'm in Kentucky right now. We're expecting some pretty bad weather to roll through with a sim sound in my head, and I'm listening to Keith talk. I just heard some of the loudest thunder I've heard in a long time. So if the broadcast does go off, I sincerely apologize. I will try to come back up and fire it back up as quick as I can.
If he loses power, I sincerely apologize. You guys got to listen to me. So
I
sincerely apologize.
They're not going to listen to nothing. The broadcast is going to be dead. It's going
to kill the whole thing?
Yeah, if I lose power, my OBS, my computer, and everything will get shut off. Yeah.
Well, that's a benefit for them. They're not going to listen to me.
You've been great in here tonight. And we just saw a front runner earlier tonight, Jesse Baker. I think it was Jesse Baker. No,
it was the 41 that got loose, it looked like.
Okay, Scott Ross got loose right there.
Right in front of the leader. But as you can see, the leader is not pulling Frattarola back.
All right, folks, we tried this earlier.
I can't say his name.
We're going to try this one more time. Let's go cockpit cam with Thomas Axum. I know he's normally pretty aggressive with the wheel. I'm seeing it right now. And then I want to jump with somebody like Chris Carroll or somebody like that that's normally a little bit more cautious and slow and methodical with the wheel.
I find interesting the difference in turns 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4 that they're running. They're running some high lines here.
You see Thomas, every time, folks, he turns that wheel to the right, he's trying to catch that car. It means it's that back end starting to slip out from underneath, and he's just fighting a loose conditioned car. So there you see Thomas Axum. He's not too bad with it. He's not really smooth per se, but that's just his driving style. He really attacks these corners and just drives hard. And it works out for him. I mean, he's champion last season. It's caution on the track.
Caution.
Every time I try to go to cockpit cam to see how these drivers are doing with the conditions, the caution comes out. Oh, Patrick James is showing on my tattletale box. Let's go back and see what happened to this driver. Looking fairly content right now. Oh, 57 breaks loose and just nowhere to go for Mr. James. Man, oh man, that 81 machine. It's been so fast all night, but he just cannot catch a break here tonight, Keith. Can't catch a break. Now, question for you. You're Jessica Can. Do you go in for tires and fuel here? She has not pitted yet.
Oh, you have to. Like, I want to message her if she doesn't. She needs tires and fuel. She must know them.
Lap 120. There's only been a few drivers. We know of one for sure, and he was just involved in that wreck. Patrick James that actually elected to take tires. Is pit road going to be busy here? Chris Horton is on pit road. There's a few on pit road. Let's see what these drivers elect to do here. We'll go back on board with Chris Horton, see what he does as he's driving on through. Mark said with it being single pit road or dual pit road, you only got to go to one pit road, but Chris Horton just went through and went to the back. And of course, now I can't see what Ed Brown did. Thomas Axum has now went down pit road. I think we're taking 4 Mr. Feelgoods right here.
Interestingly, Jessica has not hit.
As Alex Coffey is taking 4 tires, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm pulling Alex Coffey. I'm going to pull him up into the booth right now and have a word with him. So I see he's taking tires. Alex Coffey, this is Tanner Marr, Keith Mack, and the 5 Kings Network booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to let you know, you better shout out your mother, Kelly, because we know she is watching at home. But second off, I see you take 4 tires right then. I know you probably don't want to disclose a lot of information, but can you just let us know what your tires were like for that run right then?
I made it a little trickier. Got a little loose, but not too bad. I wasn't struggling too bad, but I went ahead and take them now because I don't know if there'll be another caution. So I'd rather go ahead and use them.
Yep, I mean, I get that. Do you know what your percentages was, Alex?
I'll get that for you just a second. I was at 64 on the right rear and 93 on the right front.
That shows right there, folks. I've told y'all all night these guys are battling a super loose car. And man, oh man. Okay, Jessica Can decided to pit too. So now all drivers have pitted. Alex, we'll wish you good luck from the 5 Kings Network booth. Before we go green flag racing, for the ones that like music at home, Alex, let them know how they can find you on YouTube.
You can find me all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube at DNSG Prez, Prez.
Again,
And
folks,
shout out my mom for sure for watching.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kelly, for always supporting not only when Alex is racing, but I see her in every 5 Kings Network stream. I love you for that, Mama Kelly. But that's DNSG, correct?
Yes, sir.
Prez, Prez. That's Alex Coffey. He's normally driver number 7 or number 18, number 40 tonight. Send you back down to your race team. Good luck to you, Alex, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end, brother.
10-4, appreciate it.
Man, I knew these drivers would be using that right rear. I did not expect they would be using it that much. And I think Jason Raymond has elected to park it. Don't look now. That number 99, that bad man, Chris Carroll, is made his way up front. That 15 gets a great jump, makes him wait, and boy, oh boy, it paid off for him. Got Chris Carroll, Alex Coffey. They're going to battle it out for P2. And don't look now. Ray Fatarusso, he's worked his way up to P4, Keith.
I told you.
That driver has been a total of 4 laps down here tonight. 4 laps down, and he's currently P4 on the board.
Listen, he's been fast all night. He's been clean. He's communicated well. Yeah, this is the kind of driver that you typically see on a Tuesday night. I'm pumped to see him back up front. And by the way, who is Tony Brent? We haven't talked about him at all tonight. He's leading this thing.
That's the driver number 15. I mean, he's had a fairly quiet night. We saw him getting to the wall earlier, but for the most part, been really quiet and just methodical in how he's approaching it. We're seeing Patrick James go down pit road.
Ooh.
Got problems up front. What we got happening?
Ooh, the 15 touched the apron. Then Coffee touched the apron. The 33 just rear-ended Coffee. Fatarusso. I can't wait to figure out how to say his name when he wins this thing.
Right. If he wins it, but yeah.
No, it's not if. It's when.
All right, so that's your pick. You know who I'm going with.
So I'm going with Webbs up front. I'm just going to keep changing.
All right, so seriously, you went with Fatarusso, a true betting man that wants to play with the odds in his favor. You would have to go Axel, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. You know who I'm going with? Driver number 40, Alex Coffey.
Yep.
I feel like he's going to play it right, and he's may not shown thus far that he has the most speed on the track.
Ooh, the 15's around.
Oh, Tony Brent went from 0 to hero just like that in a moment's notice. That's racing, folks.
Oh, it looks like he actually made a toad instead of flipping around.
Man, look, let's watch this. Look. He's actually loose. Let's wind it back one more time. He's loose coming out of turn 2 right there. Gathers it up. Got coffee on his outside. Just goes down on that apron too much. Goes around. Does anybody hit him? Man, oh man, there was barely enough room for a car to split him in the wall, and they did that. They did just that.
I think he may have towed. I don't understand. He
He
didn't
did.
touch
He
nothing.
did. It said
Why?
Tony Brent jumped to the pits. I'm not sure.
He lost 2 laps doing that. He could have spun it right around. He didn't touch a thing.
There's only 7 drivers on the lead lap now. Is Scott Ross still in the race? Or has he packed his bag up?
No, he's still on the track. Patrick James is in the pits.
I wonder if Scott Ross will get a lap back here. Since
Tony
Brent,
Brent is calling it a night.
man, oh man.
He's had a tough time. What if he took tires early?
I'm not sure what's happening with Chris Carroll. Oh, Chris Carroll's got to let the pace car go by. Another driver we have not spoke about a lot tonight, Keith. Ed Brown. He has worked his way up to P2. Thomas Axum gave up P3 going down pit road. It's fuel right here, I would think.
Downtown Ed Brown, man. I'm telling you. Eddie
No,
Brown's a lot
look
of fun.
what Thomas is doing. Look what he's doing right now. Is this 4 tires or is this 2 tires? Uh-oh, boys and girls. You just gave Thomas Axum. You put the gun in Thomas Axum's hand. He has the freshest tires on the track. It's not going to be the freshest by a long shot, but it's the freshest by a lot. But then I say that, you know who hasn't taken tires yet? Chris Carroll. Driver out front right now. He last pit on lap 60. I don't think he took his tires then. I would normally pull him up and try to have a word with him, but our Discord is virtually empty. So I cannot do that right now.
So here's the issue with Chris Carroll's running something into. We've got, I don't know, 8, 10 drivers left. This may be green to the end. He may be stuck with whatever he's got.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
In fact, Axum is lucky he didn't get stuck in the same position.
I mean, that caution right there could have been a blessing because I'm telling you, with this few cars on the track, a green flag run, a lengthy green flag run is coming. It's just a matter of when.
Well, I think it's now. I think there's too few cars here not to have that lengthy green flag run. And I think Axum with fresh tires right now, I think he's going to win this thing by about 10 seconds. He's going to climb through 8 cars in about 4 laps. You watch this. This is Thomas Axum at his finest.
Green flag.
As green flag is out, Chris Carroll gets a great jump. Sorry, I was having lag issues right then. Keith, I lost you too when you were speaking. I don't know if you're still here or not, folks. I apologize. It is storming pretty bad at my house right now. It's a storm out in Bristol right now too because it's the Chris Carroll storm. That driver's looking strong out front right now.
Oh, Axum is actually talking to race control now. Axum has a black flag.
Oh,
He's not happy.
let me know if it gets clear tonight. Keep me in the loop. Alex Coffey is going down pit road. What is going on here? Alex Coffey, he get a black flag as well.
I don't know that answer. Listen, I need to step out for 2 minutes.
We'll be here, Keith. We'll be here. So, folks, that's something to keep your eyes on here. Thomas Axum has a black flag. I'm not sure if it's going to get cleared or not. We just saw Alex Coffey. He took the number 40 down pit road. I'm not sure what has transpired with that driver there. I'm going to pull up a race control admin and see if we can get some info on what is happening here. We're going to pull up Scotty Stevens in the booth right here with Tanner Marr, Keith Mack. Scotty, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Hey, sorry for pulling you up here, but I just noticed Alex Coffey. He's going down pit road again. Thomas Axum was said to have a black flag. What is going on?
I raced it to a black flag on Axum for passing under the yellow right there, but he clearly didn't pass anybody up under yellow.
Okay, so that's clear.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's cleared. I'm not sure what's going on with Coffee. I didn't hear him come over comms and say anything.
Okay, I'm baffled here because Coffee was looking really strong. That was my pick to win just a while ago. So something has happened, Mama Kelly, to that number 40 machine.
Yeah, they were just talking. Looked like Axum and Coffee both just now took tires, so
Right.
it's going to be a battle.
And now Chris Carroll, since I got you up here right now, Chris Carroll is showing me he last pitted on lap 60. I think he is also a driver that has a set of tires still in the pits.
Negative. So
Oh,
Chris Carroll had a little issue on pit road. You know, you can configure this track for a single pit road or a dual pit road, and he went down the first pit road with his tires unchecked, came back around, hit the next one, and iRacing just automatically checks your tires.
oh no.
So Chris Carroll took his tires about lap 20.
Oh my goodness gracious. And still out front right now. Thank you for that info, Scotty. I'll put you down back into race control. Thank you for race control. Before I let you go, though, what happened with the heat race? What happened with you?
Well, car's a little loose. Lost at lap 1 or 2 there. Got back in. I was going to try to drive my way back up and just got taken out by Zach Murphy. He got up on a wall and came back down and just sent me flipping down the front stretch.
I missed the initial contact, but saw you flipping. So, I mean, that's a tough break. It sucks, you know, in them heat races, no cautions, you know. Basically, if you get involved in something like that, you're basically toast, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, then, that's Scotty Stevens. He's doing race control with my good buddy Joshua Sexton. He's the one helping to provide some of the entertainment for us here tonight, folks. So thank you, Scotty, and we'll be talking to you after the race, brother.
Yep.
All right, folks, we are now joined by Mr. Spins a Lot himself, driver of number 44, Jason Raymond, our young gun. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Jason, we saw you run up front, battle up front. You had the roller coaster of a night. You were at the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. Talk me through your night. We're seeing some good racing going on as Ray Fattarusso's trying to take the lead away from Chris Carroll, number 99. They're battling.
Yeah, this is a great race to watch, but I think I pushed a little too hard early on, I went from 17th to first in like 20 laps, and I think I just chewed away the right rear tire, and it was just super loose for me there, and it was a handful, but I was managing for a little while, and it would just snap on me, so I think I was just, pushing too hard too early on, trying to get to the front, and kind of cost me there.
Ooh, Fattarusso, yeah, I know. I mean, this setup, it's chewing the right rear off. Alex Coffey said his right front was 93, right rear was 68. That's really loose. But, man, Ray Fattarusso tried to make the pass on the number 99 of Chris Carroll right then. We just learned that Chris Carroll made a mistake, took his one and only set of tires on lap like 20, 25. So he is doing all this on very old tires, able to stay in front of Fattarusso, who's on fresh rubber, and Thomas Axum. Jessica Can, she's trying to get back up there with these drivers. She's on fresh rubbers. Got hung up a little bit right then on the restart. But man, oh man, Chris Carroll has his hands full with two hard-charging drivers of Ray Fattarusso, Thomas Axum right now. Top three's got a blanket over him. As the number 33, top two's going to wreck a huge crash. Is Chris Carroll going to land on his wheels or not?
Oh,
he lands it, but he could be out of a fast repair. Keith, while you were gone, Scotty told me something interesting. Chris Carroll pulled in the pit lane to take fuel only around lap 20. Went down one pit road with his tires unchecked, right? Came back down and was going to hit the next pit road. It automatically checked his tires. Chris Carroll's been on the same set of tires since like lap 20, and he's probably out of a fast repair if I had to guess.
Wow, that last accident really made me sad.
Man, oh man, your pick, Fattarusso, sitting in the pits right now, smoke just fuming out of that. This is going to be one of them races that's a battle of attrition right here, folks. Ed Brown's looking to get another lap back. We got two drivers as of right now on the lead lap, Keith. Two. Let's keep an eye on Chris Carroll here, see if that driver does have a fast repair in his pocket or not. Even if you're off the pace right now, I still stay on here. I don't leave right now.
I think he already took it. I can go back and check. I think, unless he's going down the second pit road.
I think whenever it accidentally...
Oh, no, he didn't take it. Look at that front bumper.
No, but he just got in a wreck, bro. He just... I think he don't have a fast repair anymore.
I'm not sure.
Because he accidentally took his tires. If he accidentally took his tires, then he nope. He had a fast repair.
There it is.
Yep. Chris Carroll's got a fast repair. He is on old rubber. but he's going to do his best to try to hang with the number 13 and number 37 of Jessica Can. It's going to be an uphill battle. Ed Brown currently showing us 2 laps down. He will be the lucky dog next time around if there is another caution. Man, oh man, this has been a crazy race, man. A crazy race.
Yeah, you know, it was a fun race for as long as I was in there, and I credit Carroll for managing that car. I was struggling on 100-lap old tires, and I don't know how he's doing it. It was a handful for me, and I just give him props for that.
When you did pit, Raymond, and take your tires, what were your tires? Do you remember off the top of your head? As I just dropped my phone.
I don't. Let me see if I get in my car if it will tell me.
It probably won't now. You
It
pitted
just says 100.
Yeah,
so all I know, I pit around. I want to say it was lap 60 when Pittman got in the wreck, and my right rear was at 61.
Okay, so you were really chewing up that right rear. I mean, we
Yeah.
could tell you were really loose, and that just comes down to driving style. Some people like the cars to be on complete edge. I think this setup tonight, a little peek behind the curtain, I think it's a little bit too much on edge. We used this same setup a few seasons back for a league race. Loaded it in last night, tried to shake it down, test it out myself, and the setup was all messed up where iRacing does updates at the end of each season. So did as many changes as I could to make it better, and I did not get a long time to test it. Did about 30 laps or so, and it was not this loose last night. I mean, you could wreck the first 1 or 2 laps. You had to baby it, but after that, it felt good. So I'm actually pretty blown away with how loose the car is tonight. Obviously, lights are off on that pace car.
Yeah, at the beginning of the race, it wasn't bad. It was really. I mean, there was a lot of grip to it, and I think the tires just went away, and maybe I was just overdriving or something. But I was really loose as we see Axum jump out to a lead with Chris Carroll following back into second place.
It's a 3-person race right now. I was going to say a 3-man race, but we have a female out there representing all the ladies across the world. Jessica Can. She's a driver in the Cars Tour, or formerly was a driver in the Cars Tour. She races down in North Carolina, North Kakalaki, as some would call it.
Her major sponsor down there is actually Black Acid Apparel that you see in her car right now. And I still say that's the best painted car we got tonight.
My only knock on it, and this is the only reason why I'm going to knock the paint scheme, is because I'm a paint scheme connoisseur. I love paint schemes. So, like, I notice fine details that a lot of people wouldn't notice, but I'm sure people notice this. I wish the outline around the number wasn't black as well. Makes the number a little bit hard to see on the side.
There's one other thing I was noticing that I think it says, what does it say? It says sign something right there on the sail panel. It's kind of cut off a little bit.
Sign craft.
So that's what I can't tell.
That's what I think, at least.
Tanner, you're the same person that said you wanted me to change the number color on my number, so I changed it to bright green, and then you complained about that too.
It was
you just don't like numbers.
No, you had a chrome number, and the whole reason why I complained about it was we went to Nashville, and Nashville is notorious for having bad lights on the backstretch, and you could not make out your number at all.
But you knew it was me, and I changed it to green, and you still complained. I think it's you.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's 37 other colors you could have picked. You picked green, for crying out loud. Come
on,
whoa,
green's the best color.
You hush your mouth, Mr. Spins a lot.
Oh.
Listen, he only spun a handful of times by himself tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
it was twice. I mean, it was a struggle, man. Axum's gapped Carroll by 1.4 seconds. He's pulling away. I mean, Carroll's on the oldest tires in the field right now, but
one of our sponsors tonight, USAFirearms.com's own, he's in our chat right now. He said whenever Chris Carroll was flipping on the front shuts, he said, "Oh my gosh, Chris Carroll just died." That was a pretty fierce wreck right now, and I think Thomas Axum, he's looking like he really wants some more Five Kings Motorsports money, as Jessica Kane has took her car down pit road. I'm not sure what has transpired here. It looks like she may have wrecked, but it won't let me see because the tattletale box shows me nothing.
Yeah, so, go back to Chris Carroll.
Yep, she did.
going back to Chris Carroll's flip there, I gotta say, I gotta give him a 10 for the landing. He flipped like 8 times, he
stuck
still
the
landed.
landing.
So
He stuck the landing, that is for sure. Right now, this is all Thomas Axum. Chris Carroll's on 150 lap old tires. Thomas Axum's on really fresh rubber. He's just able to kind of take it smooth right now, and he's going to take some more 5 Kings Motorsports money if he continues at this pace.
So Jessica going into, I think it was turn 3, get into it with Alex Coffey just a little bit, and she barely touched the inside wall.
Alex Coffey, he's a driver. He wants to see some cautions after getting that black flag, and I guess maybe he got a speeding penalty or something, because we saw that driver go down pit road not once, not twice, but 3 different times. There was something going on with that 40 machine that we just was not knowing, and that really, really put him too far behind the 8 ball, I think, to climb out of that hole.
Yeah, this one's over.
Well,
Action's just gonna walk away at this point.
hey man, it's racing. It's a sport of mysteries. You never know. It could be a caution, and he could be the caution. You don't know.
As many times that I've seen guys break loose, it's not over. Now Thomas Axum, if you compare talent, he's on the high end of the spectrum. But even guys like that, you get out to a lead like this, you might kind of lose focus for a little bit. Start focusing on something else. Saw him get loose right then. Start focusing on something else, and all it takes is one small mistake can turn into something catastrophic.
Oh, I will say he's about to put Jessica a lap down. There'll be 2 cars left in the lead lap.
Chris Carroll and Thomas Axum, those were 2 drivers that were working together at the back of the pack tonight. It's funny how that works out, ain't it?
Yeah, I think they just had more patience than a lot of guys, and they didn't push too hard too early on. They just kind of picked them off as it came to them, and it's showing. They're the only 2 cars in the lead lap here. As I just heard Chris Carroll say, he's driving a truck at Bristol on the dirt. That's how loose that car is.
Wow, that's a lot of comparisons right there in one sentence.
He's still turning 14.5s. He's still cooking right along. There's no speed issue there.
He was the fastest guy on the track. He was the fastest driver. He went 14.51. Axum went to 14.79.
On 180 lap old tires.
Right. Axum that time around, another 14.79, and then Chris Carroll with a 14.55.
Unfortunately, 0.2 a lap is not going to be enough to catch Axum for 13.
Not enough. And even if he is to get there in the short amount of laps that we do have, getting there is a small task when it comes to actually passing him once you do get there. As I'm actually showing Alex Coffey has crashed. Let's go back and see what we got here. And see, driver just gets a little bit loose, tries to save it. Luckily for Thomas, no harm, no foul, no caution was to come out there. But I've seen a lot of drivers that I would never expect break loose, and they're just breaking loose and just looping the car.
Chris Carroll is turning a 14.490.
But Axum was a little bit faster with a 14.42, but that time by Carroll with a 14.49 compared to Axum's 14.60.
I'm sitting here, I'm listening because I'm still in the race. Carroll's saying he's a zombie back there, and I don't know if he knows he's the fastest car on track right now.
Man, Thomas Axum has trouble out in front of him. He got lap cars right there in front of him, and they almost wrecked each other.
Actually, I believe Chris Carroll can actually see Thomas at this point. I'm watching Chris Carroll right now, and you can see them both the same screen together.
I think it's a little too late though. There's not enough time for him to get there unless something happens.
Out of time. It would take a pretty big mistake from Axum right now to allow that to happen. Fastest car on track that time around, your pick. Fatarusso just ultimately found himself behind the 8 ball and couldn't climb out of the hole that got dug for him.
Listen, he climbed out. He just jumped back in
it. I just realized what you said. I was trying to do something with OBS. You goofy Keith. That's why I love you up in the booth.
I know I keep talking about this race, but I can't believe Carroll's on 180, 190. I don't even know how many it's been at this point. How is he still driving that car right now? His right rear tire must be gone. I don't know. That's
He's
crazy.
he just suddenly started turning 14.8. He's letting off.
I think, I mean, that caution allowed his tires to cool down for a little bit. That's a long time, though, to continue turning them good laps, though, on that old type of rubber. But we're going to be 2 laps to go this time by as Thomas Axel going to round that number 13 machine out of turn 4 there. 2 laps to go, and it's smooth sailing for that driver at number 13 machine. Just got to make one more decent lap. Don't even have to be a great lap, just a decent lap, and he'll be able to claim victory yet again in the Crooked Line Racing Series. This is not a league race, but it is a money race. As the white flag has flew, checkered flag going to be this time by. Going to be the driver number 13, Thomas Axel. Started in the back, it didn't matter. He brought that machine back up front, did it cleanly. I don't think he was involved in any incident. Thomas Axel, fireworks off in the back. He has parked that machine on victory lane.
Hey, so the question is, does Crooked Line Racing get the write-off Thomas Axel on the taxes? Because Crooked Line teams seem to be supporting him at this point in time. It's his job.
I'm starting to wonder myself that, Keith, and I hate it for Jessica Can. She's not in our Discord. I won't be able to interview her. It's a tough break, but still, impressive race, man. Impressive. A battle of attrition by far. As we see Thomas Axel, I'm going to burn it down maybe for us here. It's got a really, really low gear in it, so it's going to be interesting to see if this driver can actually burn it. See if he's able to.
So Jessica King cannot come into the Discord. She had to run, but she was invited.
10-4. We'll go ahead and we'll speak with Mr. Carroll, who brought it home in P number 2. Let's get him up in the booth real quick. We'll have a quick word with this driver. Chris, this is Tanner Marr, Jason Raymond, Keith Mack, and the 5 Kings Network booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy, a big fat one for you, Tanner Mark.
So I heard through the grapevines. Oh, sorry, but wait.
I can't even wait. I am so excited. What is the right rear?
Right rear is 17%.
Ooh.
Oh, you had plenty. That's nothing.
Chris, do you realize you made a comment? I heard through the grapevines. You made a comment saying, "I am driving a truck at Bristol on dirt." Do you realize when you made that comment, you were the fastest car on track for 3 laps in a row?
I seriously doubt that, but
you
that
really
thing
was.
Oh, you seriously were.
You really were.
Damn, that's amazing.
That was crazy. We'll let Jason or Keith have the honors of interviewing our second place Chris Carroll, but still, that is pretty impressive.
Chris, early on, you took the unusual strategy of sitting in the back and waiting to hear out, where normally you're right up front, staying there. Tell me why you sat in the back this time. What changed for you?
Well, I had 23 laps in, I think. I went down to just top up, and I checked my fuel or my tires off twice, and iRacing still gave me tires, so I had to make those tires last 177 laps. So that's why I hung out back there by myself.
So you said you took your tires by mistake. Scotty came up and told us that it was because you entered one pit lane, you had them unchecked, but then for some reason when you exit that pit lane, iRacing rechecked your tires when you went to the correct pit lane. Is that how it happened?
I have no idea. I just remember trying to fight the buttons, trying to turn them all off, and they kept coming back on, and I was in trouble.
You may need a button box.
I know where you can get one. I know where you can get one. It's FB Sim Racing Custom Button Box. He can get you hooked up. But Chris Carroll, you'll be happy to know that logo of USAFirearms.com that you sent me, it got shown loud and proud from like lap 100 on. Thank you for y'all supporting the series. We appreciate it. And Chris, without any further ado, you put it in P2, 1 spot short. If the tires were there for you at the end, it may have been a completely different story, but still, let me know who makes that 99 go so fast each and every week, no matter what car it is.
Well, you just said it, USAFirearms.com, and we got Pit Lizard Performance, and all the boys over there work hard to get us going around here. And that's about it, man. I got a few sponsors, and that's about it, Tanner.
Well, those few sponsors, they get the limelight almost every week. You can catch Chris Carroll for sure every Monday night up front. He's a guy I'm trying to chase in the points battle, but I think he's pretty much got it wrapped up now. And he's also going to be coming out on our Tuesday nights as well when he can make it. That's Chris Carroll, driver number 99, USAFirearms.com machine, P2 on the board. Thank you, Chris.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well. If it isn't the man that likes stealing Five Kings Motorsports money, he's all laughing right now. Got a butt kicker game or two coming in the mail tomorrow to him. Thomas, this is Tanner in the Five Kings Network booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Thomas, you looked crazy faster in practice. You transferred over to the feature automatically from qualifying, but that puts you in the back. Talk me through your race, how it played out in your favor.
Just me and Chris at the beginning of the race. I knew it was 200 laps. You have one set of tires, so you don't want to take tires for the last 50 laps or so. Me and Chris had the strategy down. Don't take tires and just save as hard as you can. I mean, there was a point where Christian, the leader, I had him 1.7 back in my relative, and then the yellow came out, luckily. I mean, I was willing to go a lap down how hard I was saving just to have my tires last for as long as I needed them to. I ran my fastest lap like 105. I saved very well every single early run. I just literally was 5, 6 tenths off a lap just because I wanted to keep that right rear late in the race. Just unfortunate events there with Chris. Would have loved to see a late race battle with him. He's always fast. It would have been awesome, but small mistake, and that caused that caused his race over to have a chance with me. But it was a great race. After I took my tires, I knew it was just go time and
Right.
just to get up front and just defend, and I was able to do so.
When you took your tires, I even said on the broadcast, if you watch it back, it's going to be long because it was a long race. But I even said, Thomas Axel, he's not a driver you want to give the gun to because he's going to have the advantage right there. And it showed. I mean, you just had the pace. And I want to touch on what you talked about with saving the tires. So I don't know if you noticed or not, but all them guys that got out front early in the race, they jumped out to big leads. It was impressive, but look where they finished now. And that just shows that this was a game of chess here tonight. 200 laps at Bristol was hard to finish cleanly. Setup was really loose, and you did it, Thomas. So let me know. I know you got Ryan Coon Motorsports supporting you. Who else you got that pushes that 13 on track every single week?
That Studios 10 Designs got the nice wrap. Can't wait for October. Going to touch up on it. New paint scheme for it. Very excited for the next season Tuesday night mods with this new tire update. With the amount of saving that's going to be done every week, and tires will come into play way more. Bernier's Liquors, Five Kings Motorsports. Shout out to you guys for the butt kicker too. Very excited for tomorrow. I'll be on the mail tomorrow. Shout out to Tanner for everything you do behind the scenes. The extra 10 yards you do to help us get what we get to do every single week and have fun. So shout out to you, put it on the broadcast, and the guys that helped you out tonight.
Absolutely, Thomas. As long as y'all keep coming, we'll keep doing it. I enjoy it. Like seeing you come out here and battle. Hate giving you so much money, but hey, that's what we signed up for, right?
Sir, thank you for everything you do for us.
Yes, sir, buddy. That's Thomas Axel, winner tonight. I feel like I've said that a lot. Deja vu here. Won in the season, won 6 races last season, won the championship, but it's been an eventful night to say the least. Keith Mack, Jason Raymond, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here for the CLR Bristol 200 money race?
I just love the fact that a fellow masshole wins money every time you put money in the line. A masshole takes it home. And I want to know: are we going to have to send you a W-9 with this butt kicker? Like, this is crazy.
I don't know.
All you do is win.
Right. We're going to have to start to fill out some type of tax paperwork, I do believe. Jason Raymond, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here tonight?
I just gotta say, first of all, thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast instead of racing, because I know you guys both would have liked to be out there. And then anybody that's watching that's looking for a good league for tour mods or super late models and your short track stuff, definitely check out Crooked Line Racing over on Facebook, and you can get in there for the next upcoming season.
Right on. That's Crooked Line Racing on Facebook. Do super late models on Monday nights, tour modifies on Tuesday nights. Season 4 of Tour Mod starts next week. Both series are fixed setups, but they're custom fixed. And then also, we'll have Big event this Saturday night, super late models, the Hickory 300. A lot of money on the line, $10 to enter. Shoot us a message, we'll get you in there. And then got a truck series starting in 2 weeks on Saturday nights. Also, shoot us a message, Crooked Line Racing. We'll get you signed up. But for now, we're going to close the chapter on the Crooked Line Racing Bristol 200. We will be live and in living color again tomorrow for the American Sim Racing League ARCA race at Watkins Glen. It's playoff time for them drivers. They're battling to try to see who's going to hoist up that championship at the end of the season. But for tonight, congratulations, Thomas Axum. Hard fought victory. Impressive after starting in the back of the pack. It's been Tanner Marr, Keith Mack. We were later joined by Jason Raymond in the Five Kings Network booth. Give us a like. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. And until next time, we'll see you.